Hello there. Once again, this is Anton from Anton Bay. Thank you for stopping by the collection room today. This week has been quite a few comic hauls of just stuff that I've acquired that has come in. And this week, I picked up some more Archies. I do love me some Archie comics. They have come and gone in my collection. This is kind of a rebuilding of a few things that I used to have that I don't have the same... I don't collect the same way, but there's still a few things I was like, I miss Archies every now and then. Do I need perfect ones? Do I need anything like that? Do I need a full run or anything like? No, I don't. But to just have a few for reading, for flipping through, to appreciate, I got another stack, and I'm very glad to have them. First up we got is Archie 417. This is actually Archie. And this would be 1993. These things, ooh, Cowboys of Moo Mesa. I love Cowboys of Moo Mesa. These would have been all over the racks, not typically... when I was buying these, I would get comics in like gas stations. They actually sold comics in the quick shop in town, and between church and Sunday school, I'd run over and buy comics. However, they didn't have these there. The place that Archie comics would typically be found would be our grocery store. And so I would go over and there'd be like a couple of X-Men adventures and stuff like that, Ninja Turtles, and Archie. And there was also a drugstore in town that had a little spinner rack of Archie comics. And so that was the places where these came from. That was the place where books like this came from. I don't ever remember going into comic book shops seeing a lot of emphasis on Archie books because, well, these are not the collector books. I mean, no serious collector collects Archies. Archies are for kids. They're for reading. This one's from 1994. $1.25. I forgot that these books got expensive. Now in 93, I think most other comic companies were running about $2 at this point. So Archies were always cheaper than normal, but it is with the territory. I've also noticed a lot of people, collectors especially, I mean, for the longest time, this has somewhat changed in the last several years. Archie comics don't get any respect for the medium that they were. They were disposable. Most of them are pretty tattered. This one is from 1970. I cannot make that out. 1977. Wow. We got a pretty big tear in the cover. That's okay. This book has probably been rolled up, stuck in a back pocket, carried around by a kid, read, shared, passed, left set in a park overnight, maybe spent a couple of days in a locker or was thrown loose in a backpack. That's how comics used to be treated. All of them. That's how all comics used to be treated. And for the longest time, even after that, people began to like fetishize books and start bagging them and taking weird care of them. Archie still was considered that. This is 1981. December 1981. I was born January 1981. So, and when it comes to flipping through Archies, it's always pretty much the same. And that's the deal. That's the deal with Archie. You're always going to get the same thing. That's why people like it. It's always reverts back to level. Yeah, 1977, 60-cent cover. Yeah, so when I speak of Archie, I don't talk about any of the new stuff because I don't follow it. I don't want to, have no desire. This is September 1977. But I think that they held on to the true meaning of comics, which was everything goes back to the way it was at the end of the book. And the book is for kids to read, carry, and be flipped through, not to be like strangely collected. I really wanted to see what was on this page. It is, there we go. And I think Archie Comics managed to hold that true sense of comic collecting and comic mentality longer than any other comic book. So like still, while people were buying multiple copies of the same first issue with various covers and bagging them up special and when the investor market was hitting. Oh, we got a page loose. And you were getting people who were buying not to read or because they liked it, but because they thought it would be worth something. Nobody was doing that with Archies, ever. They were still just buying them, rating them, tossing them, you know, throw a couple in the back seat for the kids while we're on a long car ride that gives them something to read. I would throw these in, like if I was going to summer camp or something, or just, you know, I never went to long-term summer camp, but a few days in a camp, a few days in a van, a few days in a car ride. Archie Comics, maybe some, those little Archie trades. That's what they were for. That's what you do. This one is April. What is the year? Still in 1977. Awesome. But you know, that's where comics were originally supposed to be. They weren't supposed to be like slabbed or have you know, various covers and releases, and you were supposed to read them, not bag them up and board them. And I don't know, sometimes I think the comic book collection thing just got out of hand, and it got real weird. And if you think about it, what comics were originally born as, pulp, disposable fiction for younger people or kids. This is another 1977. That's what comics were intended as. And so if you look at that, I'd say Archie Comics stayed comic long after I think most companies went to the weird speculator market, to the comics breakdown of the early 2000s, where Marvel, that was late 90s when Marvel went broke, got bought out. Marvel Comics sold all their properties. All that stuff happened in the late 90s after the collapse of the comic book market. You look at, like, what was it, 91? That was when X-Men #1 hit the pinnacle of the most sold comic ever. Because everybody thought, man, this book's going to be worth a fortune. And it's the most common comic book in the world now. And yeah, there's probably 10 different covers. And don't get me wrong, it's a great comic, great art, and I love it. It should be read. Just read it and enjoy it. All those people who bought multiple copies, bagged them up and preserved them like they were going to be worth a fortune. You know, it's just, that's not what they were for. And so, in some ways, Archie has always, in my mind, represented more of a purity of what comics were about and what the point of comics was. This one's got a pretty good roll on it, which means it was probably packed around somebody's pocket. This is 1997, $1.50 cover price. And as you can tell, when you open one from 1997 and one from 1977, they look pretty much exactly the same. Your ink has changed somewhat. This is probably 70, what year? 76. Other than a little bit of fading, does this look exactly like the other one? Yeah, it does. It's a thing of beauty. It's one of the few unchanging things. Until, you know, the guy who owned it died and left it to other people, and they had big ideas to change it and make it modern and change what it's all about and make a TV series out of it. And in my opinion, that didn't improve it. It just took something that it was and made it something that it wasn't. And so old Archie is still going to always be old Archie to me. And whether it's, you know, late 60s to, oh, I'm not even sure when that time period happened where it all switched. But that's all pretty much the same, and that's the golden era there. Look at that dress. I love that. Look at Betty's dress. That's adorbs. Totally adorable. And yet, when we're looking, what year is this? Would you be able to tell? Maybe by the fashion, a little. Because this was what, 76? It looks exactly like one you'd see from, you know, 96. Betty and Me, number 59. Their breakup didn't last very long. That's another thing I like about Archie's is their whole cover, every single cover, like, is in and of itself basically a comic book or a comic strip. If you just put it in a circle, family circle, Archie, that would be the strip that month. That would be the strip that week. That'd be the strip that week. You know, the cover itself is a complete thought, is a complete, basically a complete story. There's almost no alluding to the contents of the book based on what's inside. Or based on what the cover is. Like, it doesn't tell you any of the stories you're going to encounter. There's probably not even a story where they're in a boat in this. Which, you know, that's fine. Wow, what is going on? Looks like he's knocking the crap out of her. He's just massaging her. Okay, maybe I'm enjoying that a little bit too much. That's pretty funny. Let's see. Betty and Me were interesting comics. Not as weird as the Betty's Diary. That was a weirder concept, but still. Also, as I look around, I have found some older pictures of Archie, and man, he used to be hideous. Like, they drew him super ugly, and now later as they refined the character, he became this like total handsome heartthrob, and it's like, dude, you used to look terrible. Betty and Me. There's a lot going on here, and this whole Adventures of Betty Cooper. I don't know what that is or why they have to put Betty Cooper on every cover, but Betty Cooper. Very weird. This is 84. This is 85. Maybe it's just a little series. If this is a continuation of that one, that would be weird, because I don't know that any Archie stories spanned even an entire book, let alone 2 issues. That seems highly unlikely. That's like Betty's mom. Betty's mom. Yeah, this might be a 2-parter. That would be crazy, but like I say, it's not all a 2-parter. It all would have fit in one book, probably, easily, because you got all these other stories going on. Not afraid to use pink on the cover. Archie's TV Laugh Out, 35-cent cover. August 50, or it's number 51, August of 77. These must have all been from somebody's 77-year collection. Which, man, these are getting old now. This looks familiar. I swear I've seen this cover like in a store. 60-cent cover. 1984. Well, I would have been pretty young to be seeing this on a cover, but it's a pretty similar looking cover to some that I have seen. So, Archie at Riverdale High. I never did know how many books there was. There's always so many monthly titles produced. That's kind of funny. You see the exact same thing. And another thing you'll notice with a lot of these, it does not give any credit to the artist. Whoever worked on it. It doesn't tell you. The Archie house style, as it is known, if I remember right, was spearheaded and basically put in place by Dan DeCarlo. So, I mean, you could give him the credit. Who do we got? Script and penciling, Gene Colan. It doesn't really matter because everybody drew it the same. That was how you were supposed to. These do look a little different. That looks exactly the way it should. Script, penciling, Alan. Alan is the penciling. We don't need to know any more than that. Archie's right. Drugs are uncool. But yet legal in the state of New Mexico. oddly. What is this year? This is Life with Archie, 1990. It felt like 90s. Had to be sure. Pep, which is where Archie first originated, was in the pages of Pep. And let's see, this is number 393. 60-cent cover, so I'm guessing this is 80s. 84. Pep has been going for a long time. One of the weird stories where we also have aliens in there, because aliens do exist, and I have seen this bunny guy before, but it's crazy to think that this bunny guy is from the Archie universe. Like, would you expect to see this story going on in a typical Archie comic? No, it's kind of weird. Biddy and Veronica, of course, the flagship, or well, not the flagship, but one of the better books of the era, in my opinion. This is $1, which means it's probably 95, or no, probably 92, 91. I'm wrong all the way around. Still looks the same. Still looks fantastic. Return to the Blue Lagoon. I'd never seen that. I have seen the Blue Lagoon, which, if you ever want to see Brooke Shields, you can watch that. I never understood exactly where Riverdale is. It does seem to be by a beach, because they are always at a beach. Anyway. See, now we're back into Laugh. Number 313. 30-cent cover. Probably mid-70s. 77. Hijinks ensue. Wow, be an expert upholsterer decorator, so you can come up with those beautiful 70s couches. Be happy and well paid. That's what it takes. Because it's fun to beat people up. I never liked the little kid versions of everybody. I just thought that was kind of creepy. Archie's TV Laugh Out. Number 43, 30-cent cover, 1976. Nice. Okay, so the Laugh Out ones, if I remember right, it's like 3 panels on this one. That's the whole thing. This one is just half a page. That's the whole story. Here we got Josie and the Pussycats. It's not Josie and the Pussycats yet, but that is Val and Melody. So it's probably just Josie at this point, but her friends. I don't know if they had a band yet. That wasn't initially the thing. It was originally just Josie. Sabrina, of course, because magic and witchcraft does exist in the Archie universe. And Veronica, even when she wins, or loses, she wins. 1977. I didn't realize so many of these were from the same year. But that's kind of cool. Not a bad cover. This is a weird one. This is Archie 3000. Metallusians, the Riverdalians. This has got to be 90s because it's too weird and it looks more extreme. It's extreme, bro. So it's 91. Everything in the 90s was extreme. If you didn't know, if you weren't there, it's got to be extreme. What could make it more extreme? Let's put it in space. So that's what they did. They need a Riverdale version of like Mountain Dew that they could all be chugging. That would be super cool. Mullets, super cool. Even in space, even in the 90s. There you go. 1992? $92 cover. Archie. Inside pages, 100% recycled. Ooh, I loved Ninja Turtles Archie Adventure Series. The best. Handheld video games. Wow. Just wow. And what's this one here? This is Archie number 401, 1992. That is, you don't get, what do you call them? Like the big spread page or the single splash page in Archie. Almost never. So even getting a half page that's a spread page or a big emphasis shot is rare. And wow, we get another one. Normally these things are divided into panels. Holy cow. We got another, that's a full page. Now they'll do full pages with pinups, and that's why they call them the pinups, because they'll have like a Jughead pinup, and it'll just be like a single large Jughead joke or a single large Betty joke, or the fashion pages where they just highlight the fashion that the designers did for that month based on the outfits of the era. But yeah, you don't often get a full splash page with Archie, so it's kind of cool that we did a couple in there. Anyway, that's a pretty good stack of books of the Riverdale, and thank you guys for watching. Don't really have much else going on, but I appreciate the stopping in and watching some video and enjoying some Archie comics, and yeah. Anyway, that's my story. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you later. Bye.